Yes, I am anxious because I had to see my mother today. I'm not just anxious, like I do have like pain in my chest, but I'm also frustrated as well. I'll get into that later. I got to talk to my mom today about some stuff with my autism that she found from a camcorder when I was a little girl. Anyhow, like when people are going to just like treat my own self perception as if it's invalid, it's a very big trigger for my own self that they're not acknowledging how I see myself and they're doubting my own perception. I don't like that. And it triggers my own self with my background. Very triggering for my own self based on some things that I've had to endure. So people have been wrong about me numerous times, and they are absolutely wrong about me and some of the assumptions that they have made about me, both of my character, of what I intend to do things, and of things that they're basing to type on my own self. Oh, yeah. Oh, my eyes are watering now. But yeah, like um people just like I am very sure that I am an introvert in every model of typology there is. I'm very sure. Even if you look at how I handled forum events, I was trying to focus on changing the object, the format of the object, not like how objects interact with one another. That's like Ashura's introvert extrovert definition. I was focusing on changing the forum, like the rules, the ethics, and like how people understand things. I was not focused on like how on changing how people interact with one another beyond the conflict resolution, the resolution stuff. I guess you could argue that, but like I was trying to make it into an ethic that is based on how the form interacts. I was not trying to like directly affect how people interact with one another. Um, I get my energy from being inside of myself. People's complaint about me, always talking from my own perspective, like about myself, that is an introverted activity. That is not something you will find in an extrovert. That is autism from an introverted standpoint, with autos ismos being what autism derives from, the state of being in yourself. It's almost impossible to have an autistic extrovert. The only way I could see it existing is if somebody is communicating from their own special interests to interact with other people. They would be focusing on interacting with other people with their special interests, which would be the extroversion of Ashura. Um, huh? I have to stim. I'm stressed out. I have sensations that are uncomfortable in my chest. It feels tight. Um, but yeah, like I I just I'm very sure that I am an introvert. Like I don't get energy from outside of myself. I communicate from my own point of view. I focus on changing the object itself rather than how objects interact with one another. That's not my focus. My focus has been on changing the nervous system, changing the laws in society through my own spiritual philosophy and other stuff, through changing the how the form is. Like the form is the object. It's not about how other people are interacting on the forum. I was focused on even my art piece that I showed, Blytheness, Kara County. There is no interaction with between other things happening in there. It is like my own viewpoint. You can argue it's static, but an art form is going to be more static in nature. You can argue that static and dynamic art look differently to begin with. But how people were like just forcing that on me. And like I said numerous times, I showed baby pictures. And even my mother today, like, and my sister talked about how on camera recorders when I was a little girl, I would always ignore people. That's not something an extrovert will ever have. Um, so stuck in my own head. Like an extrovert's focus would direct out because they're focused on how they can like manipulate things outside of their own self. And this was mostly before I was traumatized. I mean, I was not traumatized as a toddler or like a baby, so um no, like that argument is foolish. I was not traumatized at that age at all. Not at that age. By like 7, 8, 9 is probably when I started becoming more traumatized, and fully by 13 and full blown by 15. Um, so yeah, like, I mean, people are completely wrong. Like, I'm very sure that I'm an introvert. I'm a more extroverted introvert, and that probably has to do with how I've been traumatized. But like, I gain energy from my own self. I communicate from my own self, and my content is all from my own inner world. That's not something an extrovert will have. I focus on changing the object rather than on how objects interact with one another like this. I focus on this and like, this is me. I do this. I don't do this and that and that and that like an extrovert will. No, I don't. No, extroversion is horrible for me in any model. It's awful. And for IEE, like I do not have TE hidden agenda. Like even how it's defined in Ashura, it's defined as like seeking out constant activity when the IE is physically will. Like I do not exert action. And like I do not adapt on aesthetics or willpower. Like I hated sports, then in sports in Austria would probably be SCNTE. And I hated them. I cannot get things done on my own. I need somebody to push me into action. This has always been the case. Just any form of extrovert is awful for me in any model. In any model. In Big Five, in Enneagram, in any socionics models, in Model G, in Model A, and classical Model A, like no. In Talanov, I'm not an extrovert either. No, I'm not. And people just will not listen to me. They'll think that me making these videos is extroversion. Well, I lost the medium I can do this on, and people kept misinterpreting me. So what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like I'm making these videos because I have nowhere else to talk now. And people kept misinterpreting me from text. So what else am I gonna do? I'd prefer to not make these videos. I do not like my chin from how overweight I am. I don't like it at all. And I'd rather not make these videos. And I'm gonna at some point probably make them private. But I don't feel like I have a choice. Like, what else can I fucking do? I lost my only social space that I had. People took that away from me for a rule I did not even break. And it's not fair. It's not fair.